people show up for my party when I mention it's an open bar. I'm really surprised at how many friends I have. But no one was more surprised than the owners of El Guapo. If you ask me, you shouldn't give away raffle prizes at Super Bowl parties that include open bar tabs if you're gonna get huffy about it when people redeem them. A couple tequila shots later, this funny-looking guy in a preppy sweater, a button-down, and cords walks into the bar looking very, very lost. He's preciously out of place. In a room full of hipster dudes who are stuffed into skinny black jeans and 2 small leather jackets, he's the only one wearing a color. I'm feeling happy and mischievous, so I jump off my stool and head towards the prep. "Hi, you look lost," I say, twirling a lock of blonde. "No, all set, thanks," he says, smoothing his cashmere sweater and giving me the once-over. "I'm looking for the party hostess so I can congratulate her on her new job, then I'm gonna get a free drink and get the fuck out of here," he says, scanning the crowded room. "It's, my party," I say. His face falls and he actually blushes a bit. "Oh, crap," he says. He turns and heads towards the bar. "Margarita," he says over his shoulder. "Make it 2, open bar ends soon." "I'll order 4 just to be on the safe side," he says. It's like he can read my mind. "I'm Luke. I work in real estate," he says nonchalantly. "I'm an executive at Coldwell Banker." That's so not in my realm. The closest my friends have gotten to a property owner is an eviction notice. I ask him if he lives around here. "God, no. I live over on the west side," he says. Of course he does. "I like it over there. It's more of a neighborhood with families who own businesses. Plus, it means I'm closer to the marina so I can go out on my boat," he says with another sip. This guy is like a Kennedy or something. He lives on the west side, works in real estate, and dresses like Professor Plum. My friends make Lou Reed look like a 9-to-5 career man. After having my heart obliterated by a rock star, I've sworn off dirty musicians. I smile and straighten his collar. This could be a sign. I have a little bit of Jackie O somewhere in me screaming to get out. I drive out to the marina for my date with Mr. Prep. I find a place to park and walk past a row of small boats tied to the dock. Luke's head pops out from one of them. "Hello, welcome aboard." He's wearing an ascot. Please, God, let this be a joke. "Is this the Love Boat?" I say, looking around the small craft. For a real estate giant, I expected something bigger with more brass and polished wood. "Well, we actually named her the SS Bottom." "Oh, as in bottom from A Midsummer Night's Dream, or as in bottoms up?" I say. Luke looks confused. "As in ass." "It's my partner Pistachio and my favorite part of the female form," he says as he disappears below deck. You have a partner named Pistachio?" He reappears with a bowl. "Well, he owns half the boat. Actually, he lives on it," he says, plunking the bowl down in front of me. "Homemade guacamole!" Luke smiles proudly and scoops a mound of it into his mouth with a chip. A chunky glob lands in his mustache and sticks there. Luke is beginning to seem less Prince Charming and more like Charles Nelson Riley. "No thanks," I say, looking for a stray cigarette at the bottom of my bag. "You want to smoke?" I light one and exhale. "I quit," he says, frowning. I quickly stub it out. "Have some guac. It's good," he says, holding some 3 inches from my mouth. "Open up." "No, I can't. I'm allergic," I say, pushing his hand away. He looks crestfallen and then a little pissed off. "Damn it! How can you be allergic? Guacamole is delicious." It's not a conscious choice. My body doesn't like it. I stop breathing. "Fine, I'll eat it all," he says. And he does. There is complete silence as he polishes the whole thing off. Well, you missed out. Come on, I made reservations for dinner at the Chart House. Let's go. Luke grabs a jacket and helps me onto the dock. Now this is more what I had in mind. I'm not sure why he's letting that nut guy live on the boat. It must be his generous nature, which I intend to fully take advantage of at the restaurant. Luke insists on their best table outside, looking over the water. I have a jean jacket on, but I'm still shivering. He actually notices this. How can you be cold? It's a gorgeous day, Luke says in an accusatory tone. I just am, I say, and I bury my head in the menu. The waiter arrives, pen in hand. So, steamers, oysters, and what else, Luke says. No, none for me, thanks. They have the best oysters here. It's their specialty. Bring her some. I turn and I look at him squarely. Am I allowed to order something I actually want to eat? Yes, but I think it's ridiculous, Luke says, slamming his menu shut. Well, that was the highlight of our conversation. I bring up music. When I say I'm not crazy about Jethro Tull, he tells me that I am crazy and tries to prove his point by playing the air flute. And then there was the chocolate souffle. As we're eating, the waiter checks on us. He mentions a chocolate souffle on the dessert menu that takes 20 minutes to make. Luke sees the glint in my eye and waves him off. She won't be having the chocolate souffle. Excuse me, I say. I may want the chocolate souffle. We're not ordering it, he says. She's not having the chocolate souffle. Aren't you charming, I say, and I light up a cigarette. Luke coughs, waving the smoke away from his face. We'll have the check. I'm taking you back to the boat, he says, holding his wine glass up to the sun, examining its contents and swishing it around in the glass before downing the rest of it. For some asinine reason, I go back to the boat with him. I have this uncontrollable impulse where I have to see how the nightmare plays out. You can't just read a choose-your-own-adventure book and just stop in the middle because you get a shitty page. Maybe the next page will be better. You have to keep reading. One of these fucking days, I have to get a good page. On the way back to the SS bottom, I'm furious. I'm loudly clicking my boots on the pavement in protest, but Luke doesn't seem to notice. He's sauntering, rather ambling, down the causeway and whistling, which turns to singing at the top of his lungs. I love my shirt. I love my shirt. My shirt is so comfortably lovely. He hasn't noticed that I'm stomping my feet, or which are starting to hurt. I have a great vintage Pinot Noir on board, and my guitar. We can get comfortable. I think you'll prefer that to any chocolate souffle, Luke says as he helps me aboard. Don't count on it, freak show. I intend on downing a really nice glass of wine, maybe stealing a lobster magnet as idiot tax, and then getting the hell out of there. I light another cigarette to annoy him, and he does the effete coughing and bats at the air. I'm just really sensitive. Really, just not with humans, I say under my breath. I grab a glass and go sit starboard, sipping at the wine. Luke pulls out a guitar and launches into a Beatles tune. Oh, brother. When he finishes eking out John and Paul, he leans over to kiss me. Oh, come on, are you kidding? Do the girls on the West Side really fall for this real estate king who's sensitive because he can sing Beatles stuff? Real estate king? Who said I was a real estate king? You did, at my party. You said you were an executive at Coldwell Banker. Did I? Oopsie. Well, I'm more of an executive assistant. The next part that exits his mouth momentarily paralyzes me. That is, until my band takes off. What the fuck? You're a musician? I slam my wine down. The gods on Mount Olympus are laughing at me, watching rock roll down the hill on top of me like a Penny Lane Sisyphus. What did I say wrong? Oh, crap. Look, I don't know why you're upset, but I'll play any Beatles song you like. Except for Yellow Submarine. Ringo's songs are really subpar. Another musician. Clearly, I can't go out with him. But I decide to fuck him anyway. I've never had sex on a boat, which it turns out was dangerous thinking. Not because he gave me an STD or anything, but because we ended up living together for 4 long years. Sometimes you just shouldn't turn the page.